Hello and welcome to Geeker Shaves. Now, I have noticed a few more razors have been appearing, new versions have been appearing in the supermarkets, and today I am going to be doing the Gillette Mach 3 Turbo, but it's got a new 3D swivel. So, a bit like you get on the Fusion Pro Glide, it's got the bobbly head. This one's got a swivel head on it, it says. And if you look on the back, it's got a nice little blue ball. Now, when I look at this, what the little ball in the middle here reminds me of is the Gillette Venus one, where it has a little ball in the middle that swivels. And that, of course, uses a Mach 3 connector on the Venus range. So it just feels like they're sort of updating the Mach 3, which I think they have ignored for a little while. Me personally, I was an avid Mach 3 user many years ago. I'll say many, about 3 years ago, and I wouldn't shave with anything else. They brought out the Fusion, loads of people tried to get me to take up the Fusion, I was like, no, don't need 5 blades, 3 is good enough, and I'd only use the Mach 3. Then, to be honest, it was roughly when Dollar Shave Club came out, I started to then try a lot of the other brands. I had tried lots before. I tried Wilkinson Sword, but it was back in the day of its Wilkinson Sword Protector, and it had all those little wires, and it used to cut me to ribbons, and I couldn't deal with it. I tried their Quattro, again, it had little wires, and it cut me, so I went to the fact that I was just going to use Mach 3. It worked. But they brought out the Fusion and they kept progressing the Fusion range, and they left the Mach 3 pretty much alone. So it's interesting, they have now got the swivel ball technology ready for it. I have mentioned previously, I believe there is like this razor which has a swivel ball which can use a 3-bladed cartridge, or it can use a 5-bladed cartridge. So it's almost like they're catching back up with the competition. However, let's see how we get on. So it's all pictograms here, so it could be used, and the packaging can be used in multiple countries. So it's 3D motion, bewegig movement. So I'm guessing this is all about the 3D motion in different languages, and of course on the back all the different blurb is in different languages. They've got the packaging really tight, so it's hard to get in. So I brought up my trusty Swiss Army knife to be able to get into this one. So let's get in, shall we? And we can start to see what it's like. Okay, so there we go. So we've started it off, it's starting to open. And here we have it. Mach 3 Turbo. What's my first reactions? I like the silver, I quite like the white. Not sure how long it'll be till the white sort of discolours, but I think that's a very good colour choice. If you can imagine, lots of bathrooms, they're white and chrome. So they've made a white and chrome razor, and I have actually suggested this to several other manufacturers. Why don't they make a white and chrome razor? So well done, Gillette. It's very good. It's in keeping with tapware and sanitary wear. Nice bright blue head. So as you expect, quite a lot of motion on there. There's no back trimmers on the 3 blades. There are 3 blades. You can see through them pretty well. You can see me through those blades. They are spot welded. Can't get the focus right for the spot welding. But they are spot welding, and on the back they are spring loaded. So I would imagine it's going to shave pretty well. Let's test this, shall we? So yes, as you can see, it's less sort of motion rocking and more sort of twisting. So it's a twisty motion rather than a rocky motion. So it is different to the way the Fusion works, because the Fusion pivots and rocks, whereas this one twists and rotates. Let's see how it gets on, shall we? So let's wet the face. Here we go. Now I have managed to dig out one of my favourite shaving soaps, and we will give it a go. This is the one that I was using as my control soap for so many of the razors until I couldn't get any more of it for a while, but I have got a stick thanks to one of my wonderful viewers. So give it a good bit of a lather up. And yes, I know people will say, as they always do, why don't you get a brush and use a brush? I have a brush, I just don't want to use it. There we go. Right, that's quite a thick layer on there. It's going to need a little bit more moisturising, so a little bit of wet hands, just there we go. Now I've got about 3 days growth on here. I thought we'd give it a really good shot. There we go. And let's see how we get on, shall we? Oh yes. That is gliding through lovely. Pretty clogged already. Quick swoosh test. And it's clear. Which, to be honest, is what I expect from the product that I was using for years and years and years. So, is this flexible doing anything? That's the question. So I'm not sure it is at the moment. Not sure what application it would be good for using a flexible. See, put it on. Need a lot of pressure to get the flex working because it's just turning the whole thing. And it is true, that spring in there is quite tight. I'm having to put quite a bit of pressure on. So perhaps I need to reduce the pressure on the spring. Now, as I've said many a time, you need to let the razor do the work. So you shouldn't be pushing very hard. There we go. Nice and smooth. Getting through it all very quickly, very easily, very close shave. So when you have such a close shave with 3 blades, why do you need 5? Which has always been what I've been saying. And let's be honest, even Gillette have now gone back to 2-bladed razors with the skin guard. So, there we go. It's nice, it's shaved, worked well. Now, if you can see, I've got a bit of hair growth. So I think I might just give it a head shave while I'm at it as well. So quick wet up of the hair. Now this one's a bit more difficult because running around with the soap is harder when it's on your head and it's in a stick, but you can just lather up your hands and then transfer it. And yes, again, this is where people are going to say to me, why don't you just use a puck and a bowl and a brush? So there you go, so my hands are pretty good, and then give it a good rub in. Oh, there we go. As you can see, soap's getting it really done really quickly. It's feeling good. Just my hands off, and we will give this pivoting handle and try and a head shave. So it's going. One of the things I find weird as well on this is the pivot is quite low down. On like the Fusion range, it's quite high up. This is really quite low down on the product for being able to flex. So maybe that's why they've made it a twist and not a rotational. So there we go. Just checking it is, yeah, it's definitely a rotation, not a, so it's torsional rather than rotational on the handle. So shaving the head pretty efficiently, pretty quickly, just cutting through it well. Go to the back. I think I'm pretty much done. I think I've got good coverage on there. Yep. So hard the head sometimes. It's all about the feel. So you feel with one hand to try and guide where you need to go over with the others. There we go. So that was the Gillette Mach 3 Turbo with the 3D motion, and the 3D motion being the twist rather than the pivot. Do I like this razor? Yes, it's very nice. Do I wish they brought it out earlier? Yes, I wish they brought that out quite a lot earlier. Who knows, it might have meant that I didn't get into all of this and I didn't try out the other razors. Might not have done, but it might have meant that I didn't switch so quickly. It's a very good razor, I am liking it, I'm liking the colours, so yeah, if you do like Gillette and you like your Mach 3, I think it's well worth doing it. So hope you enjoyed this video, hope it's very educational for you, and please remember to like shaving.